Hey everybody, it's Stuart Hillard here from Stuart Hillard Makes, and I'm at the NEC at Festival of Quilts. Can't tell you how wonderful it is to be here and see everybody again. It's been way too long. I'm here with my brand new book, which is called Bags for Life, 21 projects to make, customise and love forever. And it's a book of bags, 21 different bags. And you know, I was inspired to write it originally by a lady called Viv, who was at my quilt group 20 years ago or more, who always used to arrive every month with a brand new bag that she had made, and it would always be beautiful and everyone would love it, but it was always for a woman. And so I wanted to make a bag, and so I asked Viv if she had any patterns for men, and she said no, I could maybe make a tote bag, and I didn't really want to do that. So I went away. She inspired me to go away and design my first bag. Now, the vast majority of bags in Bags for Life could be for anybody, men or women, and it really depends what kind of fabrics you use. The book's divided up into chapters, and of course there are how-to chapters and materials chapters, what you need before you get started. But then there are 6 chapters of projects, and what I've done is I've really thought about why you'd need a bag. I mean, for everything. But I couldn't do a for everything chapter. I suppose maybe that's the next book. So I've done chapters for a day at the beach, a picnic by the lake, a weekend in the country, a meeting in the city, a great afternoon in, that's all the crafty bags, and a trip to the market, so going shopping. And then there are all the different sort of bags that you might need in there. There are beach bags, there's a tote bag that turns into a 7-foot long beach towel, there are produce bags, there are bags that fit into a small trolley or a big trolley and they adapt. There's a tri-fold wallet, there's all sorts of lovely things. And everything from beginner right through to more advanced sewing, but really appealing for everyone. It's available from the 2nd of September. So that's my brand new book, Bags for Life. Now I'm also here with a couple of other books that I've written, and the first quilting book I wrote was called Use Scraps, Sew Blocks, Make 100 Quilts. And there are 100 quilt patterns in the book. You don't normally get 100 patterns in a book, you usually get 12 or 15, don't you? And there's a good reason why mine's got 100 in. I am very, very eclectic in my tastes. I love traditional, I love modern, I love bright, I love kind of sludgy colours, country colours. I love applique, paper piecing, traditional, you name it. So trying to hone that down to 12 or 15 quilts was impossible, and the only way I could write a book on quilting was to put 100 designs in it so I could have all of those different bases covered. And I think that's what most quilters do themselves, because it depends whether they're making a quilt for granddaughter or their mum or their friend that they work with, or something for themselves to cuddle down under in front of the TV. Or if it's Christmas or whatever, or a birthday. So that's why I wrote 100 quilts. But I love scrap quilting, so it has a real kind of scrappy approach. The second quilting book that I wrote was called Simple Shapes, Stunning Quilts. And what I wanted to do in this book really was to show off my ethos, which is, it ain't what you do, it's the way that you do it. And you can do something simply, but do it with style and do it with panache, and you can use just squares and still make a really, really beautiful, beautiful quilt. For example, mostly squares and a few half-square triangles. This Union flag quilt, it's very modern, very striking. It does not look like a boring, basic, ooh, you must be a beginner kind of quilt. It's something exciting and fresh, but it's just made from squares and triangles. So the book goes through things like foundation piecing, strips and squares, one patch wonders, curves, and all sorts of different simple quilts, but ones that look beautiful. Now, you might know as well that I do fabric design. I've been designing fabrics for about the last 4 years for the Craft Cotton Company, and I've got my latest collection, which is called Kyoto, right over here, which I'd like to show you too. Now this is called Kyoto, this fabric range, and this is a quilt that I made, and again illustrating that kind of simple shape, stunning quilt. It's just strips. It's a quarter log cabin, but I've exploded the logs and I've put sashing in between every log. It's just a simple thing, but it changes the whole look, gives it a lovely fresh modern look, and it also separates out those prints so that you give them a little bit of room to breathe. Works really well with Kyoto because I think it gives it quite a Japanese screen, bamboo screen look, kind of looking through a lattice. So I'm here with fabrics as well, and I just love designing fabrics. I mean, I use enough of them, so I thought it was about time I put my name on a salve edge. So that's what I'm doing here at Festival of Quilts, and I'm just having a wonderful time. It's so good to see everybody. I have missed everyone like mad, and the last couple of days have been a wonderful opportunity just to get back together again. So it's been really nice to say hi to you and introduce myself and what I do. I'm also a teacher and a speaker, definitely a speaker. So I could come to your guild if you wanted. I could come and teach you a class. Do get in touch and come and teach you what I know. Take care.